together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. That's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we have baseball, and I will be breaking down the two preseason football games. We will be going over preseason football on the show. Figured NFL is back, so we are also going to Cappit because during the regular season we're going to do the same thing. And I think, honestly, preseason football may be the best preseason to bet. Maybe spring training could be interesting here and there for baseball. But I think football, NFL, is the best preseason to bet. And I've already locked in one play on the Giants-Lions game. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm staring at another play in this New England-Carolina game. So I'm going to be breaking down. I know, Tim, you're not huge on the preseason football.
No.
I'll be breaking down those, giving you the line movements, giving you the cash flow, giving you what we expect from these games, things along those lines. I'm going to do my due diligence for it. We're going to cap those. So maybe sometimes talking over games, more clarity can pop up, and maybe something can pop out, and we can find some winners that way. And then we got the full baseball slate as well. But I was going to say before we get into today's slate, we'll recap yesterday, but we didn't have a show yesterday. Thank you guys for the patience. I still need to put up my backdrop. As you can see, we're in a new spot. We're moving into the apartment, and it's been a busy week. And we're finally ready to get at it and go. So we'll head over to the chat, and then we will get into today's card, Tim.
By the way, with your preseason football, I know there's a huge card on Saturdays or Sundays?
Yeah. Saturday has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games.
Then you might do you might be able to do a solo show Friday night or something for it.
I could do that, or maybe I just start the show because I know you'll probably be working Saturday morning. No, You'll be here, right?
I will be here.
Okay.
Saturday morning.
I was going to say maybe I start the show a little earlier, things along those lines. We'll see.
Whatever you need to do. Glad you guys are back. What's up, Timothy? Here for the Goldilocks. If you're talking about our hair, then not kidding. We don't believe in locks. Got a good feeling today. I hope so. Just cashed on Fury at map 1. That was nice.
There you go.
Plus 155. Preseason, bet the dog. Not exactly.
We'll see. We'll get into that Giants game in a minute. I did take the Giants in the first half, but we'll get into it.
Here's the deal. I'll let you quickly kind of run through both these two. I'll introduce them for you. We'll go over the two games, and then we'll go back to the chat after the two games. I'll let you kind of just kind of rapid fire through these. We'll start off with some preseason football for you. Next, Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. Now, do these actually get played at the team stadiums?
Yep, this will be in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, I don't pay attention to preseason because it doesn't really matter to me. Patriots are minus 6.5, total of 33.5. Let you start off the preseason. Go ahead.
Yeah, this game opened up on August the 1st, and it was New England -1. And this line has moved dramatically, and I can understand why it has. It went from 1 to 1.5 to 2 to 2.5 to 3 to 3.5, all the way up to 6.5. Now, it did touch 7 for a second, and then there was a little bit of buyback there on the Panthers to bring it back to 6.5. This line opened up at a 34, and it's been bouncing around. Got up to a 35 at one point. It's now down to a 33.5. It was at 33 at one point, so a little bit of buyback once it did hit the 33. And looking at the cash flow in this game here, let me switch back to NFL because I was just looking at the baseball tickets, things along those lines. We have 55% tickets, 68% of cash on the Patriots. This line has moved an awful lot, though. And at this point, I'm not really interested in laying the points with the Patriots. in this game. And then we have 89% of the tickets and 67% of the cash is on the over in this game, with the line moving 1.5 to the under. And this is where I was kind of looking at for this game here, was what do we expect from this? Because do we expect Bryce Young to play? The simple answer with this line is no, we don't. And if it's not, then we're going to get Andy Dalton, Jack Plummer, and Jake Luton. I'm trying to figure out where the offense is going to come from. Maybe you might get a field goal, maybe a touchdown from Andy Dalton. I have no faith in Dalton anymore, though. He is not the Cincinnati Bengals Dalton anymore. He's not anything like that. There's a reason why he's a backup on the Carolina Panthers now. On the flip side, I think the Patriots will be an interesting team for the preseason because their quarterback room, I think, is pretty good, all things considered, for a preseason quarterback room. Because maybe they go Jacoby Brissett for a drive or two, but then you're going to get rookie quarterback out of North Carolina, Drake May, which I'm not very high on, but against second stringers, I can see him play well. And then Joe Milton and Bailey Zappi. I think this is a strong 1 through 4 for a preseason team. And if you're looking for the Patriots to cover late and you have Bailey Zappi, I'm not mad about that. I was looking at the under in this game, though. We see all the money, all the tickets are on the over. 11% of the tickets, 33% of the cash is on the under. And this line is dropping 1.5. I'm interested in this under in this game, the under 33.5 between the Patriots and the Panthers here is where I'm looking. And I think I'm going to add that because I'm struggling to find where the offense is going to come from in this game. So I'm going to go with the under 33.5 here, New England and Carolina.
Sounds good. Have fun. We'll go over to the other game, and then we'll head back to the chat after that. Nick, you're wearing your Giants jersey. They're 3.5-point home favorites against the Detroit Lions. 34.5 is total in this one. Second game of the preseason. Have fun.
Yeah, we have this game opening up with the Giants as 3-point favorites, and it's now up to a 3.5. This line opened up at a 36. It's down to a 34.5. So once again, another line movement towards the under here, expecting low-scoring games in the preseason, which I could see it. We saw the Hall of Fame game be a high-scoring game, but in retrospect, I should have looked a little bit deeper into that. And I believe under I forgot the head coach for the Bears, but the preseason for the Bears, they average 22.5 points a game. So that's something to keep an eye out for. We do have 91% of tickets, 82% of the cash is on the over in this game with the line dropping. So the under does interest me a little bit in this game, but the Giants interest me in this game a lot more. 36% of the tickets, 62% of the cash is on the Giants in this game. Those lines gone from a 3 to a 3.5. I don't like laying 3.5 full game. Even though I would only look towards the Giants full game if I'm looking at a full game side in this one here. I'm looking at just the first half with the Giants, though, because what am I expecting here? Daniel Jones missed a decent amount of the season last year. Maybe he does get a drive or two in the first quarter here to kick off the game just to see how he looks. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Dable does that. And then after that, and even if we don't get Daniel Jones, give me some Drew Lock in the first half here. I think the Giants will be an interesting preseason team to back because they have Daniel Jones, who has won a playoff game before, Drew Lock, who has won games in the NFL before, and Tommy DeVito, who has won games in the NFL before. On the flip side, I don't expect any Jared Goff, so that means we're going to get a decent amount of Nate Sudfeld and Hayden Hooker. I think Hooker could be a sneaky player in this game. If you're looking for potentially the Lions come through and backdoor cover at the end of the game, I can see that with this 3.5 number. So that's why I'm going to isolate it just to the first half. I'm on the New York Giants at the first half, -1.5 at -110. I lean towards the full game, -3.5 as well. But I'm just going to stick with the first half. Give me Drew Lock versus Nate Sudfeld, and I'll be thrilled.
Good luck to you, Nick. I'm personally not touching any NFL preseason, so I'll leave that all up to you. Let's go ahead and jump back to the chat, and then we'll go from there. Panthers. Sorry, Carolina all the way, I should say.
I mean, I'm not going to talk you guys off of that with with the way the line is. I mean, 6.5 in the preseason seems like a lot. So I mean, taking 6.5 does seem kind of interesting. I just want the under.
Fair enough. Under. How many do many fourth down conversions? So many fourth down conversions for the Lions. That was in the regular season last year. I could see them trying to go after it this year, especially if they plan on like going and taking that approach again this year. Because that's how the Lions played last year. Was they took risks and it worked out for them. So, but let's go head over to games that actually matter in the MLB.
Yeah, by the way, under 33.5, New England and Carolina, -110, ESPN bet. So I'm on Giants first half and the full game under for New England, Carolina. Let's get into some baseball. I have nothing bet so far in the MLB. Obviously, I'm going to be on the Reds. I'm probably -1 against the Marlins. But let's get into this card here. Not a huge card, though. San Francisco and Washington kicks it off here. The Giants as -115 favorites. We go from the football Giants to the baseball Giants. Total of 9 in this game. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one and the line history. My computer's being slow. So hopefully this loads soon for the baseball there. Let's X this out. Let's get up the cash flow, where we have 31% of the tickets and 41% of the cash is coming in on these Washington Nationals. And then we have 99% of tickets and 94% of the cash is coming in on the over in this game. Let's take a look at the way the line has moved here. Between DJ Hers and Kyle Harrison. We have this line opened up with the Giants as -108 favorites. It's now -115. So we do have a move towards San Fran in this game, even though the sharp money coming in on the Nationals. Line opened up at a 9 at -115, and it just dropped down to an 8.5 at -117. So we have a move towards the under here as well, with the line moving towards the under, which I don't understand. Actually, I can understand, but don't at the same time, because these pitchers have actually been pretty solid as of late. Kyle Harrison, a 3.48 ERA, a 1.02 whip, 8.45 strikeouts per 9, which is 29%, 3.48 walks per 9, 205 BABIP, a 4.81 FIP, and a 3.59 SIERA. On the flip side, DJ Hers, a 2.40 ERA, a 0.93 whip, 10.9 strikeouts per 9, which is 30%, 2.4 walks per 9, a 206 BABIP, a 4.37 FIP, and a 3.20 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Giants. The hitting edge goes towards the Giants as well. 140 WRC plus, which is number 2 in baseball against lefties, compared to the Nationals, who are also above average hitting lefties, 113 WRC plus, which is 12th. This confuses me. The line movement towards the under confuses me because I mean the pitchers have pitched well, but the bats for these teams are hitting lefties really well as well. And so the sharp money's on the Nationals and the line moving towards the Giants. Overall, this is just a confusing game. I guess I lean under if I had to bet anything in this game. But this is just not one I felt the need to get involved with.
An under makes sense in this spot, Nick, just because it is an early game, 12 o'clock. And keep in mind, it's a getaway day. Let's see who they play tomorrow. The Nationals remain at home. They'll go up against the Angels. And the Giants head home tomorrow to play the Tigers. So a big travel spot. So I would also lean towards Washington in this one. Just kind of a getaway day for San Fran. I think it could be a weird spot with them having to travel across the country. And I don't hate the under. Is this a game that we need to get involved with? I don't think so. I may sprinkle a little bit on Washington just to kind of have something in the beginning, but you don't really need to go out and bet every single game or bet it just because it's the early game. I'll personally have I'll have some Counter-Strike action, so I don't really need to get involved in early games. But it's a lean towards Washington, but I don't really need to get involved.
Fair.
Ahoy, mateys. Glad to see you guys on the tube again. Yes, it's been a busy week. We'll explain one of the reasons why we had to miss in like a month or so when we're allowed to. The other reason is we moved into a new apartment. ESB headquarters is in a new apartment we're still in Greenville because of ECU and stuff, but we're in a new apartment complex, so we did have to move. So that was another big reason where we didn't really have a setup or anything for a while. So I want the over. I can't take an over in the early game like that. I'm not letting line movement keep me off down the stretch on the MLB. Tons of CLV plus for tickets going down in flames. I know, right? We could be CLV kings, and it ultimately just does not matter. So
fair.
I don't blame you. Both these teams are top teams versus Southpaws the last 14 days.
Yes, they are. The Giants are number 2. They're 140 WRC plus, and the Nationals are 12th.
There you go. Lean under and the Natties, and give me the Giants. Nats stink. Both teams are kind of rough this year. Good morning, fellas. Was worried about you guys. Good to see you back. I'm taking the Giants. Don't like it. We're good, Tyreek. We were good. We were just moving. I would lean towards the Nationals here, but I don't really like it. Let's head to this game, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves. The Braves minus 140 favorites in this game, total of 9 in the spot. Kind of crazy to see the Braves be this big of favorites, and we've seen this drop. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's get into the line history here. If it'll click, that'll be cool. This line opened up. It was minus 155 for the Braves at open. And now we're seeing this all the way down to a 117 between Charlie Morton and Frankie Montas. Taking a look at the cash flow. It opened up at a 9 at minus 110. Got up to a 9.5. It's back down to a 9. So really no line moving here on the total in this one. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one. 81% of the tickets and 65% of cash on the Braves. And this line is heavily moving towards the Brewers. And I really don't blame the odds makers. This Braves team is not playing good baseball right now. 93% of tickets, 91% of cash on the over in this game. Frankie Montas taking on Charlie Morton. Montas has not been great as of late. 8.14 ERA, 1.95 whip. 9 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%. 3.43 walks per 9. A 4.12 BABIP, a 5.41 FIP, and a 4.23 SIERA. On the flip side, Charlie Morton's been decent. 3.86 ERA, 1.24 whip, 7.29 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%, 1.71 walks per 9, a 2.73 BABIP, a 5.5 FIP, and a 4 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Braves, but the hitting edge goes towards the Brewers. 100 WRC plus, which is 18th against righties, compared to 91, which is 25th. It's a tricky game. I would like to see the way the first 5 has moved in this spot, because we have this line opening up at a 145 down to a 137 for the Braves in the first 5 innings. I'm interested in fading the Braves early in this game and taking the Brewers first 5 in this spot. The bullpen edge does go towards the Braves, and I kind of want to take away the bullpen in this game. I think I'm going to move on the Brewers early here in this game. Brewers first 5 for me is kind of the way I'm looking here.
I want to take the Brewers to sweep. They've looked dominant this entire series. A 10-0 win and an 8-5 win. This is a Brewers team that I want to be backing right now, and a Braves team that's just completely falling apart. The Braves are a loss and a Mets win away from not being in the playoffs, not being in a playoff picture. My thing's kind of fuzzy. Which is crazy to say at this point of the year. I did not expect to be saying, hey, the Braves could not be in a playoff spot a little bit after the All-Star break. And that's kind of where we are now. So I'm going to be taking the Brewers here. to finish off the sweep against the against the Braves. And my thing is gone fuzzy, I think. Anyways. Brewers with the sweep, yes. Oh, and the weather may be a factor. I'm in VA. Yeah, we had there was a tornado that landed in Wilson, which is about half an hour from here. So yes, that's another thing that we kind of were paying attention to this morning. So definitely interesting to see there. Give me old man Charlie. No. Brewers money line and the under. Braves are so cold. Yes, they've been cold as of late. They have not looked good. Steam went down on the Brewers, plus 130 to plus 110. Still going to go ahead and bet the Brewers today against the Braves, and I'm going to get plus 110 to do so. So go ahead, give me the Brewers to sweep. I don't know where Nick went. Cool. Let's go ahead and head into the next game, which is these. Oh, hi, Nick. There you go.
Hey, sorry, I was trying to set up my other camera. Oh.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. Let's see. Let's set up this one. Let's see how this one, because my other one was being kind of buffery. There we go. That works. Let's get into it. The San Diego Padres and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates minus 110 favorites, total 8.5 in this game. Taking a look at the line history here between Luis Ortiz and Randy Vasquez. This line opened up with the Pirates as minus 105 favorites. It's now minus 108, so we have a slight move towards them. It did get all the way up to minus 117 at one point. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 110. It's now an 8.5 minus 124. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. 97% of the tickets and 97% of the cash is on the over in this one here. 34% of tickets, 59% of the cash is on the Padres. So sharp money coming on the Padres. Line moving a couple of cents towards the Pirates with 66% of the tickets, but only 41% of the cash on them here. I kind of do have an interest in the San Diego Padres in this game. Luis Ortiz is coming off of getting hit, but I see more negative regression coming his way. And I kind of see the same thing with the Padres here with Vasquez. Vasquez, 4.5 ERA, 1.28 whip, 6 strikeouts per 9, which is 16%, 3.5 walks per 9, a 2.78 BABIP, a 3.89 FIP, and a 5.25 CR. On the flip side, Luis Ortiz, 3.91 ERA, 1.17 whip, 5.09 strikeouts per 9, which is 14%, 3.52 walks per 9, a 2.06 BABIP, a 5.47 FIP, and a 5.45 CR. Bullpen edge does go towards the Padres. That Padres bullpen is going to be elite down the stretch. I love the pieces they added to it, and it's been one of the best in baseball the last 30 days. And a massive hitting edge towards the Padres as well, 115 WRC plus, which is 11th, compared to 87, which is 27th. I hope you guys got in on those futures because I looked this morning. I think the Padres are 9-1 to win the National League and 20-1 to win the World Series now. I got in at 16 and 35-1. So this Padres team is trending in the right direction. I think they're going to be the wild card 1 team. If not, I think they could be the National League West winners. Still, this is a team. They play pretty well against the Dodgers, and we just assume the Dodgers are going to win this division. Then you look at the standings; they only lead the Diamondbacks and the Padres by 3 games.
Oh wow,
3-game lead.
Oh, Diamondbacks. Oh,
yeah. It's a 3-game lead now, and I believe they both get games against the Dodgers.
I'm
sorry. This division's up for grabs, and I think the Padres win this division. And the Dodgers are a wild card team this year, and I like this Padres team, and I'm going to take the Padres here. I'm going to take them full game on the money line, and I'm kind of tempted on this team total over as well because I think they hit Luis Ortiz. I do. I think what we saw last start from Luis Ortiz is a little bit of what we should expect to come, is him getting hit a little bit more. And I'm getting minus 105 over on – oh, nope, I'm getting minus 104 on FanDuel. 1 cent better on FanDuel. So we're going to go over to FanDuel, and I'm going to see what the team total over is for the Padres as well. I think they get to Luis Ortiz.
I want to find my futures because you just mentioned that, and baseball, college baseball futures. What? No. Damn. That's NBA futures. I want to find my MLB futures because I got like an 850 ticket on Arizona to win the division. Or was it 850? I think it was like 850 for them to win the division. And they're right up there now. I know you said Padres, but I think Arizona still has a chance to win that division. So I like that. And Dodgers as a wild card team would be crazy to see. And I would be totally down for them to be a wild card team. I'm not going to get involved in this game. I don't feel a need to. I would lean towards Pittsburgh in this one. I know Ortiz got hit his last time up, but the only reason I'm going to stay off this one is Pittsburgh's been on a little bit of a rough stretch. They've lost 6 out of 7. Granted, not 6 out of 7. 5 out of 6. Granted, they just played Arizona, and now they're playing San Diego, 2 teams that are really hot right now. I would lean towards Pittsburgh, though, in this one, but I'm not going to personally get to it.
Fair. Yeah, I'm going to grab both the Padres money line, minus 104, and their team total over 4.5 is at plus 104.
Truth tellers here. You guys like the Brewers or the Padres? I'm on the Brewers to win today. I'm on the Brewers to win the division. I have a bunch of Brewers stuff, so you're about to bet them. I like the Brewers personally over. I have money on the Brewers today. I do not have money on the Padres. This game feels like a first 5 under. Could be. I could see the bullpens getting hit up. They could. Over. I'm not going to tuck you off an over. That was crazy 10 innings last night. That was I didn't watch the game, but I saw the scores. It was 98. I want to back the Padres and the over. Bullpens have been a lot. Baseball the last couple of days. Bullpens have always not been that great. I'm on that future, Nick. Bet $5,000. Get it, Dave. I know he's messing with you. Time for a McCutchen home run. Not a bad option.
He hit one yesterday.
Padres gaining on the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to be insane once Mookie and Muncy come back. Don't be crazy. Anyone think Dodgers are going to crash here at the end? Okay. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that my future for Arizona is no longer as dead as I thought it was. But I'm not saying that they're winning the division. Hansel so hot right now. Is that a Dodger? Is that who's Hansel, Nick? Is that a Padre? I don't remember. I have a Padres future. Would rather they be a wild card team. Seems wild card teams win in the playoffs, especially from the NL West. Don't hate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rockies money line. We'll get into that game because we'll talk about that one next.
Yeah, we have the New York Mets and the Colorado Rockies minus 150 for the Mets, total 10.5 in this game. By the way, I just grabbed the Brewers first 5 plus 115. Brewers first 5 plus 115. David Peterson, Austin Gomber, your pitching matchup. Your line opening up at a 155 down to a 150 for the Mets. So we do have a line movement towards the Rockies here. This line opened up at 11.5, went down to an 11, and now down to a 10.5. And we could potentially see 10s here soon. And if we see 10s, I'm interested in this over. 86% of tickets, 85% cash on the over, but it's dropped a full run. And then 88% of tickets, 94% cash on the Mets, and the line moving towards the Rockies in this game here with David Peterson, Austin Gomber. Peterson, 3.27 ERA, 1.36 whip, 8.18 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%, 4.5 walks per 9, a 288 BABIP, a 4.31 FIP, and a 4.39 SIERA. On the flip side, Austin Gomber, 5.48 ERA, 1.31 whip, 9.28 strikeouts per 9, which is 24%, 1.69 walks per 9, a 300 BABIP, a 5.33 FIP, and a 3.56 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Mets. The hitting edge is the massive one towards the Mets. And this kind of makes sense why the line's dropped the way it has. The Rockies are not hitting lefties. 66 WRC plus, which is 28th in baseball, compared to 105, which is 15th for the Mets. Not a game I particularly have too much interest in because the over does have some appeal, dropping a full run, but I don't want to trust the Rockies to score runs, especially the way they're hitting lefties as of late. So stay off for me.
I was going to jump on the Mets. I think at the end of the day, they're in a playoff spot. And I think it was a bad spot game 1. I think I think game 2 was obviously good for them. And I think they take the 3rd game in the series. All right, that thing's being loud. It's fine. I like the Mets run line in this one. David Peterson's been a guy that I trusted. Now, they have lost his last 2 starts after winning, 9 in a row. I think they get on another streak with him. They will end up going after today. They head to Seattle, which I think could be a little bit of a rough spot for them to start that series. Do we have starting pitchers for that game tomorrow? It's Jose Quintana versus a pitcher to be announced still for the Seattle Mariners. That's gonna be a fun series coming up. But I like the New York Mets here. I'll take their run line. I can get it at, let's see, what price can I get the Mets at? Run line's around even money. So I'm looking towards the Mets here.
I got you. Not a game I'm going to bet, and this is not a market that I particularly like the Mets in.
Hanzo from Zoolander. I've never seen Zoolander. Under. I like the Mets and the under when it was at 11. I don't blame you. Let's keep on rolling, Nick, and I've already put this play up.
Yeah, and I probably should have bet it earlier here because this line, actually, no, it opened up at a 187, it's down to a 167 now for the Reds. Line opened up at a 7.5 minus 117, it's now 7.5 minus 118, so a 1 cent line movement towards the over in this game. And a movement towards these Marlins with 17% of tickets, 57% of the cash on them, 99 and 99 on the over. Hunter Green has been unbelievable. 0.35 ERA, 0.54 whip the last 30 days, 11.42 strikeouts per nine, which is 35%, 2.42 walks per nine, a 120 BABIP, a 2.4 FIP, and a 2.78 SIERA. On the flip side, Kyle Tyler's been terrible. 7.94 ERA, 2.56 whip, 9.53 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%, but 6.35 walks per nine, a 5.28 BABIP, a 5.46 FIP, and a 4.84 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Marlins, but I do expect that to come back down to earth with their bullpen getting picked apart. And the hitting edge is the massive one towards the Reds, 131 WRC plus, which is 5th against righties last 30 days, compared to 113, which is 12th for the Marlins. And I need to shop around to see what the best available number is, but it's going to be Reds, probably run line, because let me take a look here what the -1 will be. Probably too expensive because I'm seeing minus 180 and even money as the best available options for minus 140. No, I'm just going to play the run line here at even money over on ESPN Bet.
I got run line at plus 102. Continuing to fade the Marlins every single day. It's been very profitable. And it's worked out this series so far. I know yesterday it did not, but it's been pretty good this entire series. So I'm not going to try to fix what's not broke. I'm just going to continue fading the Marlins every single day. They've been awful. They're only going to get worse. So let's keep jumping on it.
Fair.
Alonso better go yard today. I don't hate that. I kind of want to go after Mark Vientos. I think that he can get one, and then we'll talk about the what do you call it in a little bit. It's a trap. No, I don't think so. We'll talk about the Baltimore game in a little bit, and the fact that I like certain player to go back to back days.
Huh. Oh, Santander?
No.
Holiday.
A little player named Jackson Holiday, who's been on an absolute freaking.
Imagine if you were one of those people that gave up on him after the first 40 at bats or whatever when he really struggled.
I know, right?
Let's get into the next one here. I didn't either. Yeah. New York Yankees and the LA Angels line open up at a minus 265 down to a 220. So we do have a big movement towards these LA Angels. Line opening up at a 9 at even money. It's down to an 8.5 now. So we'll move towards the under as well, expecting Cortez and Tyler Anderson to pitch well, which I can understand that sentiment there. And I'm kind of interested in an under in this game. 98% of the tickets, 97% of cash is on the over, and this line's dropped a half a run. And then we have 8% of the tickets and 24% of the cash is on the Angels, and lines move towards them. So this is a very appealing big dog. Nestor Cortez has not been as good lately. Tyler Anderson, I'm shocked he's not pitching for another team. Tyler Anderson. I'm stunned. But he has a 4.18 ERA, a 1.14 whip, 9.51 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 1.52 walks per nine, a 292 BABIP, a 3.89 FIP, and a 3.39 SIERA. He's been awesome. On the flip side, my question is, can I trust Nestor Cortez for an under here? 8.68 ERA, 1.88 whip, 7.71 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 3.86 walks per nine, a 361 BABIP, a 6.54 FIP, and a 4.95 SIERA. He's just not looked good as of late. The bullpen edge does go towards the Yankees. The hitting edge does go towards the Yankees, 129 WRC plus, which is 6th, compared to 92, which is 23rd. The Angels kind of struggle against lefties. The Yankees hit lefties pretty well. And my question with Mr. Where is he? Cortez is, has it just been road starts for him? Because his last home start, he gave up 6 earned runs against the Rays. 3 of his last 4 starts have been on the road, though. He pitched at Tampa Bay, pitched a back-to-back against the Tampa Bay Rays, and then he faced the Red Sox, which he just faced 3 weeks earlier at home, where he gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits against the Red Sox. He followed that up pitching against them 3 weeks later. He gave up 4 earned runs on 9 hits and 4 2/3. So the teams he's getting hit by just saw him within that month. The Angels have not. And Nestor Cortez pitches better at home than he does on the road. It's pretty significant here. 4-4 at home, but a 2.48 ERA in 69 innings pitched, a 1-5 record on the road with an ERA above 6. I think Nestor Cortez pitches well in this game. I think Tyler Anderson pitches well in this game. And I think this game's an under. The way I look at this one here, my main concern is how the Yankees hit against lefties, which is pretty good as of late. And this first 5 under has moved 5 cents towards the under. I like that with the public on the over. I think I'm going to go to this first 5 under here. First 5 under, 4.5, Yankees and Angels.
I got some big plus money last night, Nick. I did a free pick video on this one. I took the Angels when they were plus 220. Now they're like 185, 190 area. So yeah, line has moved towards them. I like the Angels in this matchup. I just think the line's way too wide for the Angels having their best pitcher on the mound. And I know it's on the road, and I just for them, and you got Nestor Cortez going for the Yankees. I don't trust Cortez. I really don't. And I looked at it. Cortez, the Yankees have lost. They won his last start with him. Previous to that, they lost 6 straight starts when Nestor Cortez pitched. Not somebody that I would be willing to go and trust. I like the Angels here in this one. I got them at plus 220 last night.
Fair. I mean, yeah, the Angels do seem kind of interesting. I do think if this game goes over the total, it's more Cortez pitches poorly because he has as of late. He's a more vulnerable pitcher. So I could kind of see it that way.
We'll have the Angels on the back burner for a possible third play. I looked at the Yankee game and it screamed Angels. I would have to agree with you. I'm all over the Angels today. Glad I faded the Yankees in the second game. Yeah, they looked rough in the second game. That was nice. We took the Angels both games and ended up cashing plus 250. Sounds like an Angels first 5 get in, get out. I think according to Nick, it would be more of an Angels full game.
No, I would agree with the first 5 there because and with the way that I'm kind of looking at this is I think if you're looking to back the Angels, and this is kind of an interesting look here because if I would like to not hedge my bet, but if I would like to try to play it that way, I see the only way now obviously I think the way I lose this play, this first 5 under, is if Cortez doesn't pitch well. I think Anderson pitches fine, and that's my cap on the game is Anderson's going to pitch good. If that's the case, why am I not on the Angels' first 5 plus a half at plus 120? Is kind of the way to look at it here because 1-1, 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, and I win both bets. And if this game goes over, I think it's the Angels put up 3 runs in the first 5, and it's 3-2 Angels or something like that. I think that's the way I lose this first 5 because I think Anderson pitches well. So, yeah, the Angels' first 5 plus a half does seem kind of interesting.
We'll keep that one on the back burner for now. The game also might get rained out.
Yeah, it could. It very well could.
But we'll see how that one goes. All right, Nick. You already know where I'm at for this one. But
this one was quite an interesting line here when I saw this morning that the Orioles are pick 'em in this game against a Toronto team like this. Let's get into it, though. And then I looked at the pitching matchup. It kind of makes sense because the Toronto Blue Jays, I think, do have the starting pitching edge in this game. Dean Kramer and Kevin Gausman, your pitching matchup here. This line opened up with the Blue Jays with the Orioles as minus 125 favorites. It's down to a 110. So we do a decent line movement here towards the Toronto Blue Jays. Line opened up at a 9 at plus 105. It's now a 9 at minus 120, suggesting Dean Kramer is vulnerable in this game. That's what this line history is telling me here, is that Dean Kramer is the more likely pitcher to get hit in this game than Gausman. We have 68% of the tickets and 80% of the cash is on the Orioles with the line moving towards the Blue Jays. And then we have 99% of tickets and 99% of cash on the over, which explains the line movement towards the over here in this one. Dean Kramer, 5.4 ERA, 1.60 whip, 6.84 strikeouts per nine, which is 15%, 3.96 walks per nine, a 2.98 BABIP, a 5.37 FIP, and a 5.24 SIERA. On the flip side, Gausman, 4.28 ERA, 1.17 whip, 5.93 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%, 2.96 walks per nine, a 2.38 BABIP, a 4.74 FIP, and a 5.10 SIERA. The bullpen edge is significant towards the Orioles in this one here. The Blue Jays have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. The Orioles also have the hitting edge, 122 WRC plus, which is 8th compared to 111, which is 13th. So if I'm looking at this game here and I'm looking at the way this line is moved, I want to take a look at what this first 5 has done real quick because I am interested in the Blue Jays early in this game here. And my main reason behind that, and this line opened up at minus 110, it's now minus 115 for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are favored in the first 5 innings. And I think that's very telling because if I want to bet the Blue Jays here, what do I want what do I want in this game? I want the starting pitching edge with Gausman over Kramer. If that's my cap, is that Gausman has the pitching edge over Kramer, then I just want those two. I don't want the bullpens. And the Orioles bats scare me over a full 9 innings. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays in the first 5 in this game. Is the way I'm going to approach this one. I'm going to shop around, try to find the best number. The Blue Jays in the first 5 is where I'm going to go in this game.
It's the Orioles every day for me. That's what I like to do. And I'm going to add a player prop to it, maybe even 2. Jackson Holliday became the youngest player in MLB history to hit a home run in 3 straight games. So he's on a tear right now. And let's not forget, Anthony Santander has been on frickin' fire the last 2 months. He's been honestly the best hitter for the Orioles. And it's kind of made up for another player who I had an MVP ticket on, who has been hitting like a $140 the past 3 months, which is Rutschman. He has not been playing well. Santander's made up for it. Gunnar Henderson's been great. And if you want to add one more, like an RBI prop, how about Eloy Jimenez? Boy, does he look re-energized being on an actual competitor. I just saw clips from him yesterday, and he just looks so happy to be there. Because going from the White Sox to the Orioles, he's got to be loving life right now. So I would look towards Eloy Jimenez to also get some work done in this one. I like the Orioles every single day, obviously. I'll have that updated soon.
Fair. Yeah, I'm currently shopping around trying to find the best available number on Blue Jays first 5.
Heard. Orioles first 5. Jays are kind of good lately. Did jump on the over in the Orioles game. Stop it, Tim. No. Mountcastle owns Gosman. Gunnar fell off a cliff. Gunnar has been, he hasn't been great as of late. There's been other players that have stepped up. You have to fade the Orioles every now and then. No, I'm running the experiment of betting them every single day. So no, I don't have to fade them. So I obviously take my Orioles analysis with a grain of salt because I do bet them every day. Nick?
Yeah, Blue Jays first 5 -115 ESPN bet is where I went with this game. So that's where we're going for that one. Well, let's get into the next matchup here. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Rays. The -120 for the Cardinals, total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here in this one between Kyle Gibson and the Wizard of Boz, Shane Baz. Line opened up at a 125. It's down to a 119 now. So we do have a 6-cent line moving here towards the St. Louis Cardinals. Line opened up at an 8 at -115. It's now an 8 at -120. So we do have a move towards the over here in this one. We have 76% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the Cardinals, and the line moving towards the Rays, suggesting that the markets kind of don't respect any of that Cardinal money. And that the Rays are very live in this game. 96% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the over in this one here. And my screen goes dark once again. That's fun. Let's take a look at the there we go. Pitching matchup here. Shane Baz, 3.32 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, 8.53 strikeouts per 9, which is 22%, 4.26 walks per 9, a 296 BABIP, a 406 FIP, and a 4.60 Sierra. On the flip side, Kyle Gibson, 4.37 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 6.35 strikeouts per 9, which is 16%, 3.18 walks per 9, a 306 BABIP, a 410 FIP, and a 4.97 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards the Tampa Bay Rays pretty significantly. Slight hitting edge towards the Cardinals, 104 WRC plus, which is 15th compared to 100, which is 19th. It's Rays or nothing for me in this game, and I think I might get involved.
I was kind of looking to probably stay away from this game. I will say, if you're going after any props, Alec Burleson continues to swing a hot bat. Nothing I really need to get involved in, though, because St. Louis has been iffy lately. Although they had a nice – they've won the first 2 games of the series, so they're going for the sweep. Previous to that, they lost 4 out of 5 going into this Tampa series. That's why I thought they were playing iffy. Nothing I personally need to get involved with in this game. I will probably have a play in the next game, and then that'll probably be it for my card. But I don't need to get involved in Tampa, St. Louis today.
Fair. I'm seeing plus 108 over on FanDuel.
There you go. Okie dokie. Tampa got to win. They don't have to. Nobody has to do anything. Rays money line. I got burnt by the Rays twice, leaving it alone. Well, now they're going to win today, so there you go. Let's head to this one, Nick, and I'm going to be going after this one for sure.
This is an interesting card. There's a few spots I really like on that. Like I by the way, Tampa Bay Rays plus 108 FanDuel. Tampa Bay Rays plus 108 FanDuel for that previous game there. Taking a look at the next matchup here, Colby Allard and Jordan Montgomery, 2 lefties. I have to switch the numbers for Philly against for Arizona against lefties, I think. Line opened up with the Diamondbacks as even money favorite, or even money. It's now minus 114 for Arizona. Line opened up at a 9.5 and minus 110, and it's not moved the total. So pretty significant move towards the Diamondbacks with 29% of tickets, 22% of the cash on them. So the bigger bets and the bigger money is coming in on these Phillies, 71% of tickets, 78% of the cash, and the line moving towards the Diamondbacks going from dog to favorite. 95% of tickets, 92% of the cash is on the over in this one here. And let me update my numbers for what is Arizona against lefties, because they're good against righties. They're slightly worse against lefties. 117 WRC plus, which is 9th, compared to 93, which is 22nd for the Phillies. Phillies have kind of struggled a little bit as of late. Jordan Montgomery is not somebody I particularly trust, but Colby Allard really isn't either. Trying to see how much Allard's pitched, because I feel like this is the spot that was held by Ranger Suarez. He's picked, actually, he's coming in off of a nice start, Colby Allard. 1 earned run on 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 4 innings pitched in a game against the Mariners. He hasn't gone more than 4 innings in either of his appearances. He had 3 earned runs on 6 hits, 1 strikeout, in 4 innings against the Guardians. His previous appearance before that. And I think the Diamondbacks get to him here in this spot. I'm kind of interested in Arizona in this game. The bullpen edge does go towards Arizona. The hitting edge does go towards Arizona. So I think full game is the way to look at them here, because I could see the Phillies winning the first 5, getting to Montgomery a little bit. But then the Diamondbacks get to him later. Minus 110 over on FanDuel. I'll grab some Diamondbacks money line here.
I'm in the same boat with you. I'm just going to take a little bit of a different approach to it. I'm going to fade the Phillies off of another big series win versus the Dodgers. I think this is more of a letdown spot for them, because the fact that they went in and took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, they took 5 out of 6 from LA this year, which is huge. I think they struggled this series, though. I do. I think the Phillies kind of, I'm not going to say taper off, but I think that at least this series is going to be a little bit rough on them. I just don't like the spot overall. They get 4 here, and then they go home to play Miami and Washington, which is going to be a huge series. And then they get 3 against Atlanta later on this month. So that's going to be a big series for them. Personally, I like Arizona in this matchup. I think it's a bad spot for the Dodgers. Yes, the Diamondbacks just played a doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a bad spot for the Phillies, though. And I think the line movement kind of tells you everything you need to know. Let's go Arizona money line in this game.
And also, one thing to keep in mind with the doubleheader, for people interested in player props out there, the Diamondbacks just played a doubleheader yesterday, and I think they went through a decent amount of pitchers. Jordan Montgomery over outs. They're going to push him.
They might need
probably a decent way to look as well. If you guys are into the prop game, coming in off of a doubleheader, or games at the bullpen games, or games where bullpens get shredded, the next game, look for the starting pitcher to go over his outs type of thing.
I don't hate that option either. Philly, Zona off a back-to-back, coming home off a long road trip. Phillies, revenge factor. Phillies bats coming alive. I'm not going to argue with anybody that wants to go Philly. I'm personally going to go Arizona in this game. Harper home run. Won't talk you off of Harper hitting a home run. He's been great. Let's keep rolling, Nick. Last game of the day.
Yeah, we have the Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers cash the over 5.5 in this game yesterday. That was kind of a crazy line there. And now it feels like this total is super high because it's a 7 instead of a 6 or a 5.5 like we've seen. The line opened up at a minus 190 for the Mariners. It's now 197. Line opened up at a 7 at minus 125. It's not moved in this game here. We have 95% of tickets and 93% of cash on the over in this game. Line's not moved. We have 86% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on the Mariners. That makes sense. The line's moved about 7 cents in their direction. Taking a look at the pitching matchup in this one, we have Kenta Maeda taking on Brian Woo. Maeda, 6.88 ERA, 1.41 whip, 8.47 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 1.06 walks per nine, a 340 BABIP, a 5.46 FIP, and a 3.44 SIERA. On the flip side, Brian Woo, 2.70 ERA, 1.25 whip, 6.75 strikeouts per nine, which is 18%, 1.35 walks per nine, a 317 BABIP, a 3.57 FIP, and a 3.89 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards Seattle. The hitting edge goes towards Seattle. 108 WRC plus, which is 14th, compared to 92, which is 24th. I feel like Brian Woo is the Royce Lewis of pitchers because he has the potential to be one of the better pitchers in baseball, Brian Woo. The only problem is every single time I look at Brian Woo, he's going on the IL for some reason.
Yep.
He's one of those guys where he just can't stay healthy. But when he is healthy, he pitches really well.
Yep.
I have no interest in this game whatsoever. I have no interest in laying a run line with the Mariners in this spot, asking them to score runs with a total of 7. I think the variance is too low in this game for a run line. But I really don't have any interest in backing Maeda. Total of 7 with Maeda is kind of telling here. And as much as we want to say the Mariners aren't hitting, they've been above average against righties the last 30 days, 108 WRC plus. So this team is starting to hit a little bit. And if they can hit a little bit, they can compete with the Astros. This Mariners team has the bullpen or has the pitching to compete with the Astros.
Yeah, they do.
They're a half game behind them, I think. And I have no interest in laying a run line with the Mariners, but the Mariners win this game. I have no interest in laying $1.90, no interest in a run line, no interest in a -1 with a total of 7. Maybe you take a team total under for the Tigers if you think Brian Woo pitches well. I have no interest in this game, though.
I'm going to finish the card with a pass, too. And it's just because I'm not laying this much, and I'm not laying a run line on the Mariners. And do we have a starting pitcher for Detroit?
Yes, Kenta Maeda.
That's right, you said that. So it's essentially a bullpen game because Kenta Maeda has not been going deep into games. So Seattle probably wins. If you want to put Seattle as a parlay piece, I don't bet parlays, but if you want to bet parlays and stuff, Seattle could be a decent parlay piece. Not enough for me to want to really, not enough for me to want to jump on this game. If you want to, you know what could be an interesting idea with Seattle, Nick?
What?
How about adding a Cal Raleigh prop? He's been really good as of late. I'm not going to talk anybody off of Cal Raleigh.
Fair.
Y'all have any numbers on the Diamondbacks team total? They've cashed the over 3.5 in 10 out of 12 games. Nice. I got you. LA De La Cruz over bases. I won't talk you off of that, especially against Miami. Marte is on fire. I can see that. Can't trust Seattle right now. Either Detroit is hot garbage or Seattle is garbage. Who?
This does feel like the obvious under of the day. Kind of. But I feel like any Mariner game is the obvious under.
And we just had that yesterday, so or they're the obvious under.
Yep.
Parlay piece could be. Kenta, no. Seattle and Reds. See, I don't mind that. Is that close to even money? Because I would take that. But that is that's all the games for today. We appreciate everybody stopping by and hanging out again. We will be back pretty much full time now. We appreciate all the patience. But before we head on out, we'll recap and pay some bills. If you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. We appreciate all the support. Check out all links in the description below. They're above Nick's head: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm going to wait for Nick to put up the plays for NFL. And then once that's done, the card will be posted. I apologize for not posting the card that often. It's been a crazy week, so we're just running around like crazy. They will be back up every single day, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day if you're interested in supporting the channel a little bit more that way. Recapping today. For me, I'm going to be on the Brewers. I'm going to be on the Mets. I'm going to be on the Reds. I'm going to be on the Angels, the Orioles, and the Diamondbacks. Nick?
Yeah. Posting up my card now. There we go. I have the Milwaukee Brewers first 5 plus 115 ESPN bet. San Diego Padres minus 104 money line. Team total over 4.5 plus 104. Both on FanDuel. Cincinnati Reds minus 1.5 even money ESPN bets. We have LA, New York first 5 under 4.5 minus 110 ESPN bet. Toronto Blue Jays first 5 minus 115 ESPN bet. Tampa Bay Rays plus 108 FanDuel. Arizona Diamondbacks minus 110 FanDuel.
There we go. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Oh, we got 3 more. Thanks, guys. There you go. Montgomery over Outs. I like it. You parlayed the Mets and the Reds. I like that too. That's going to do it for this edition. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace out, guys.